Hello and welcome back to another Reaconteur video, and in today's video I'm going over the 10 stages of a KIDO player. Make sure to subscribe since only about 20% of the people watching this right now are actually subscribed. And also I'm currently live on Twitch, so drop into the stream after this video, or right now if you want to. Also, before we get into it, a lot of people were telling me I was pronouncing Noitora wrong. No, I wasn't. Here's a clip.
Do you know why you nearly lost your battle with Noitora Gilga?
As you can see, or as you can hear, she literally says Noitora Gilga. So don't tell me I'm wrong. I know I'm right. I am always right. Anyway, I love you all. Regardless, let's get into it. In Stage 1, the future KIDO player likely doesn't know what they want to go yet in terms of build. Newly starting out, they aren't very good at the game and just have a general sense of curiosity, and the in-game Trello is probably open on their phone, as it will be for 6 hours straight as they figure out how to progress through literally anything. Stage 1.5 is the YouTube introduction, which is an alternative to Stage 1. A Stage 1.5 starting player is introduced to the game through YouTube videos. They've already seen cheese KIDO tech like the recently patched Strike Hollow Bite, and at this point the future KIDO player may already decide on going KIDO because it looks funny and terribly balanced. It is. Regardless, players entering the game from this stage are often overconfident and will start out thinking the game is going to be extremely easy for them because of their broken YouTube build, until Stage 2. At Stage 2, the future, or even current at this point, KIDO player is going through a massive skill issue. For those who entered on Stage 1, they likely started with Kendo or something harder to use than KIDO, and are struggling to use it properly as they're just bad at the game. Stage 1.5 starting players will already be using KIDO, and in their attempt to abuse KIDO true combos and confirms like Strike Hollow Bite or Starkbuster Hollow Bite, they continue to get slammed in ranked. Stage 1.5 starting players expected it to be extremely easy to just spam the same confirm over and over again and win a fight, but they really have no idea what sort of combos to do after, so once their Hollow Bite is on cooldown, they could eat like 2 bars of stray damage, since they don't really know how to parry either. And they also probably complain about Hakuda a lot, even though, you know, it's just got nerfed like a lot. Stage 3 is the discovery of KIDO, and for Stage 1 starting players, they most likely heard that KIDO was the easiest tree with the most annoying tech and combos in the game. This is similar to the Speed Stage 3, as most KIDO players and Speed players start out pretty similarly, since KIDO and Speed are the two easiest skill trees in the game, meaning that a player starting on Stage 1 of KIDO could also be a future Speed player. Regardless, Stage 1.5 starting players at this point may give up on abusing cheesy combos and will instead learn how to actually use combos with KIDO instead of trying to abuse bugs, confirms, and things that just shouldn't be in the game. At this point, they're usually still at Reaconteur as well because it has the most cheese, but even with all that cheese, it likely isn't going to carry them too far because they're still not very good and they really need to progress. Stage 4 is the stage of commitment, and at Stage 4 the KIDO player has decided on using KIDO, but they're likely unsure of which faction to use with it. KIDO Reaconteur has the most cheese due to moves like Hollow Bite and Bala Burner. Quincy KIDO has the most evasive potential and like Reagan, and Quincy Soul Reaper is the most all-rounder, and the moves all stun for like half a year or disable your enemy's entire kit. A lot of fun. Anyway, depending on what the KIDO player chooses, it'll dictate their playstyle from here on. A Quincy player will forever stick to metamancing and will likely not even main KIDO, as they'll probably be changing builds every update to keep using the best new build, and then they'll complain when their build gets nerfed as if they don't hot build every update. And a Reaconteur KIDO player will forever commit to the cheesiest, least skill combos and move usage imaginable, using only builds that either do too much damage or stun for way too long, and they will pretty much try and abuse everything they can whenever they can, regardless of the jail potential, even if it's like a glitch or something like move stacking. And KIDO Soul Reaper players will remain loyal to Soul Reaper KIDO for as long as they play the game. Soul Reaper players will also usually be the worst players by far of the three, roaming in groups of no less than 3 if they're in the overworld. Stage 5 is the advancement stage. After choosing their KIDO faction of choice, the KIDO player will begin actually learning how to play it. For Arankars, this means learning how to properly combo and pressure instead of just spamming Hollow Bite and confirms when possible. For Quincy players, this means learning how to properly pressure and combo escape using their high posture damage and evasive moves like Dragon and Holy Thunder. And for Soul Reapers, this means that, well, you use 2 skill boxes, got Goryu Tenmetsu and either of the other 2. And also, don't forget Visored, which lets you ignore the need for Soul Style and gives you infinite Reiatsu for pressing K on your keyboard with the Reiatsu variant, you know, after spamming half your hotbar. I'm not saying the other 2 KIDO trees take skill, but at least Quincy and Arankars need to learn how to M1 people. Meanwhile, you have, like, Soul Reapers playing KIDO, and they don't even know they can use their mouse for something other than moving the camera around. Stage 6 is the stage when the player begins to waver. Stage 6 is the stage when the KIDO player's build usually gets nerfed. It most recently happened to Arankars with the removal of Strike Hollow Bite, and recently happened to Quincy's, who had huge nerfs across the board. This is when KIDO players' souls begin to waver. The Metascar doesn't turn around when the KIDO Quincy barks, but the KIDO Quincy may go Soul Reaper if their build goes into the ground and gets nerfed again. In Stage 6, KIDO players may switch factions and continue to use a better form of KIDO such as Soul Reaper KIDO. Many KIDO players switched when Strike Hollow Bite got nerfed, and many more switched when Quincy got its notorious update, which was literally a weekly update, nerfing not only Quincy KIDO, but just Quincy all around the board. Like, everything about Quincy's got nerfed that update. Even if, you know, it wasn't all that necessary, it was kind of funny. Anyway, many KIDO players after this stage even switched to speed builds because it's the next easiest thing right behind KIDO, and we all know KIDO players aren't good enough to learn anything even slightly harder than KIDO or speed. Stage 7 is the experience of joy, and after either switching to another faction, or if you're a Soul Reaper, remaining with yours because you guys get nerfed once per century, the KIDO player experiences true joy. Their new or remaining build is in its prime, and they have never had more fun with KIDO since they switched. It's like an entirely new experience for them, even though it's just spamming 1 through 9 on your keyboard. Regardless, for the Soul Reaper players, who are never going to change, they've been experiencing the joy stage since stage 4, because they don't have to deal with the struggle of nerfs, or Reiatsu, you know, because they have infinite Reiatsu, and it will likely never be nerfed. But that brings us into stage 8. Stage 8 is the boredom stage, and after the joy subsides, it all becomes the same to the KIDO player. Even after switching, they're no longer satisfied with KIDO since it's become the same thing over and over and over again. Arankars and the few remaining Quincy's are beginning to tire of their builds. Soul Reapers are still at this point sniffing glue off of their keyboards to win fights, and for those getting bored, it's likely they'll take a break from KIDO as a whole and either play KIDO rarely, or at the very least, they'll attempt to learn something a bit more advanced. Which brings us into Stage 9. Stage 9 is anger. As the skill issue of the KIDO players is becoming more apparent, the Quincy and Arankars who mained KIDO, it is likely that they begin to truly realize this game just isn't for them outside of either KIDO or speed. They have the reaction time of a 40-year-old Vietnamese man in the 1830s. They can't parry, they can't block, they can't combo, they can't talk to women, they can barely play the game, they don't go outside, and they can't shower. But KIDO is truly the only tree they can ever learn, which brings us into Stage 10. Stage 10 is acceptance. Unlike the other skill trees, which I have made videos on, there is no mastery for KIDO players. KIDO players can't master what takes no skill to use. Quincy and Arankars who use KIDO will accept that they're a KIDO player and revert back to KIDO and be fine with it. Soul Reaper players never left KIDO and have been in the corner sniffing glue since Stage 4. A truly idolized version of each KIDO faction player goes as follows. The KIDO Arankars are racist, sexist, and actually just evil, terrible people. A KIDO Quincy is the exact same, except they're also a femboy and probably wear thigh highs. Alternatively, the Arankars could also be wearing thigh highs on Roblox. And a truly idealized Soul Reaper lobotomized themselves 6 stages ago so they could play Soul Reaper KIDO as effectively as possible. Yes, you Shinigami players are catching crazy strays this video. Cry about it. I hate all of you. I would add a stage 0.5 calling KIDO players fatherless or something, but it's likely that they can't understand basic forms of communication like English anymore because KIDO has rotted their stupid brains too badly. I hope you all enjoyed. Drop into the stream, buy a YouTube membership to hear my song covers. I do sing. I make YouTube music. I make song covers. If you want to hear me sing, buy a YouTube membership. It's only $5. Speaking of YouTube members, though, shout out to Jake, Kenix, Cyberboy21, and Rayont, as well as J. Cole Fan 23. Anyway, all of you have an amazing day. I love you all. If you're watching this video, have a great day, and goodbye.